The not-so-subtle inclination of Donald Trump toward totalitarian rule has been apparent for some time. He has repeatedly expressed his admiration for strongman dictators like Erdogan, Kim Jong-un, Hussein, and Vladimir Putin. What's more, the alleged dealmaker is nakedly hostile to compromise or to accommodating opinions that differed from his own. It's either conform to Trumpism or be denigrated as a lying, crooked enemy of America. In an interview Sunday, Trump's chief of staff, Reince Priebus, affirmed the authoritarian aspirations of this president. ABC News correspondent Jonathan Karl asked Priebus about Trump's prior statements concerning punishing or restricting the press when he doesn't like what they say about him. That question led to this ominous exchange. "Karl, I want to ask you about two things the president has said on related issues. First of all, there was what he said about opening up the libel laws. Tweeting the failing New York Times has disgraced the media world. Gotten me wrong for 2 solid years. Change the libel laws? That would require, as I understand it, a constitutional amendment. Is he really going to pursue that? Is that something he wants to pursue?" Priebus: "I think it's something that we've looked at. How that gets executed or whether that goes anywhere is a different story. But when you have articles out there that have no basis or fact, and we're sitting here on July 24th, cable companies writing stories about constant contacts with Russia and all these other matters." Karl: "So you think the president should be able to sue the New York Times for stories he doesn't like?" Priebus: "Here's what I think. I think that newspapers and news agencies need to be more responsible with how they report the news. I am so tired." Karl: "I don't think anybody would disagree with that. It's about whether or not the president should have a right to sue them." Priebus: "And I already answered the question. I said this is something that is being looked at. But it's something that, as far as how it gets executed, where we go with it, that's another issue." Priebus could not have been more clear. The president is actively considering changes to the Constitution that would put the free press at risk. The changes he is considering would permit retaliation from hostile government officials seeking revenge for unfavorable coverage. Even short of litigation, such a move would have a chilling effect on journalists. Trump has openly expressed his animosity toward the press. He calls them sleazy, liars, and fake news, although apparently without any understanding of what that phrase means. During the campaign he corralled them in pens and revoked the credentials of those he felt were not sufficiently enduring. His comments have even put some of them at risk for physical harm. Trump's consolidation of control goes beyond just the media. This weekend he also complained about the processes in Congress that interfere with him getting his way. "The rules of the Senate," he said, "in some of the things you have to go through, it's really a bad thing for the country in my opinion. They're archaic rules." In other words, he is opposed to the sort of democratic form of government wherein the people's representatives work together to shape a consensus on legislation. He prefers dictating his demands and having everyone comply unquestioningly. The purpose of these assaults on the Constitution is to delegitimize any criticism or opposition, no matter how appropriate. Trump wants only positive stories about him and his administration. And he will not tolerate anyone exposing his frequent mistakes, misstatements and lies. For that reason, every American should be wary of Trump's efforts to silence the press, and particularly any attempt to codify such censorship into law or constitutional amendments.